Hey everyone, and welcome to another game on the Age of Bison YouTube channel. This is the elimination semifinals game between TO and LFS. This is game 4. Currently, LFS has a 2-1 game lead against TO. TO going to be playing France on the map Fertile Crescent, which is his map pick, and LFS going to be playing Russia, which is his pick against the counter pick of France from TO. So Russia currently undefeated on this map right now. By the way, I'm General Spades. I am joined with two people. I am joined with Dunamai from the previous game, and with Sharky, Sir Shark Dad, who casted game 1 of this game with me. Welcome to you both.
Hey.
So France versus Russia on Fertile Crescent. We have the non-crisscrossed trade route version of this map. So this map has what I'm only assuming is a 50-50 shot of spawning with the trade routes crossed or not. Can't confirm or deny. But Russia versus France. Dunamai, what are your thoughts on this specific matchup? Who do you think, as a civilization, has the advantage here?
So we all know and fear the Russian rush with the Strelets and the Musketeers, but the thing is, French villagers have 40% range resist. So this is not as terrifying for French as it is for other civilization. So kind of an edge for France here, but you never know, because this can really backfire if LFS goes and Opry raids, because they have zero resistance against an operating flail in the face. So I would say slight advantage for France, especially with the good TP that are not crisscrossed. But we'll see.
I will say that France obviously has a little bit of an advantage over the Russia civilization in terms of scouting too, because France obviously spawns with this scout here and is able to really get a hold of the map and put this scout in stealth and potentially see any forwards in the middle of the map. So very interested to see what we have going on here. France going to be taking an early trade route, as we'll take a look at the players' decks right here. France TO going with a deck entitled Land. He's got 3-core CDB, Economic Theory in Age 1, Wilderness Warfare, so that's a native card, and everything else seems... he's going pretty skirm heavy, I'd say, on this deck. What are your thoughts on what you saw there?
Really interesting, actually, because you don't see the card Tirailleur used that often. It's an 8/3 card, the third one, that turns all of your crossbowmen into skirmishers. We could see some early crossbowman play. France has decent crossbow. You can buff them with 2 cards. Long range infantry hit points and team long range infantry attack. He does not have long range infantry hit points, preferring to go for Wilderness Warfare that only buffs Corps de Bois, Skirmisher, and Native Warrior, but not Crossbowman. So we could see kind of a different play. Maybe it's just TO trying, to keep every option up. We'll see.
I'm really glad we have a Frenchman casting this game, because there's no chance in hell I'm pronouncing that the same way you did. TO is aging up with the quartermaster as France. We're going to hop over to LFS over here, who has done a pretty terrible job scouting, if I do say so myself, and terrible job hurting as well. We're going to take a look at his deck, Soviet Union Distributivism, as the first card, and there is literally nothing about this deck that is not standard. What we do know about TO's Russia play is, you have Ransack here. Well, we
Advanced artillery is not that common though.
that is true. I guess that is the one card you could say is not bog standard for Russia at this point. Say advanced artillery in lieu of having 4 Cossack shipments. TO, or sorry, not TO, but LFS loves populating the middle of the map with blockhouses. That is how he plays Russia. He just throws a ton of blockhouses in the middle of the base, makes a wall out of them, and says, "Bite me." So we'll see exactly what happens. He's obviously building the first one up. I'd expect, no, he's going with the logistician, so that provides blockhouses with 15 pop instead of 10, I believe.
I think it's 15 instead of 5.
15
But
instead
yeah,
of 5. Does it provide anything else? I don't recall.
it does give you a military wagon, so you can do another blockhouse with your blockhouse.
A blockhouse with your blockhouse. So that, I assume, is going to be put right there. Great Coats also coming in. And there's the H2 immediately dropping down a second blockhouse. And the third blockhouse is going up. So that's exactly what we do see. Very standard for LFS's type of game. We're going to hop over to TO and see what he's doing right now. Sending CDB, sending economic theory, sending force CDB. So going very heavy with the eco. Has a stable up early. Getting market techs here is placer mines, the very first, or the tier 1 coin upgrade. I suspect that we have seen, or we have missed him getting all the other upgrades. Let's see here. 1.46. That seems like it's very hunting dogsy, if you ask me. If not placer mines, I'm not sure, or steel traps as well. And
so
we
see this is the inherent struggle of France, right? So sorry to interject here, but like one of the things, and now that the walls are going up, and this is going to be very interesting as he's establishing map control, but what I find usually is that France wants to open cav, right? Because that's kind of the Huss is their unit, and you want to have that against the Strelets, and you need to build a melee cav into Russia early. You have to. You're forced into it. But it's very easy for Russia to get a 3-unit composition, and that's always the critical point, right? Because the 3-unit composition in terms of the triangle system of countering within AoE 3, it poses an inherent challenge for France, and they need to early on send the 700 wood card because they need to get a barracks up, they need to make Musk, and they have to get the Huss out as well. And then they probably at the same time need to get to H3 so they can get their skirms, especially according to Tio's deck. So there's a lot going on in the early French play that we have to be looking out for, because if all he's going to have is Huss going into this, he's going to have a problem. Even if he does end up countering the Strelet mass and he can beat the Cossack 1-for-1 on a pound-to-pound basis, he's not going to be able to siege out these blockhouses. There's too many early blockhouses. He can get some raids in perhaps, but he's got too much vision on the map. He's going to see the raids coming, and he's not going to be able to siege it down. The Hussar do not have good siege, and so you're going to need some sort of Musk mask, or you need to go for a naked fast fortress at this point. And the fact that he hasn't is kind of disappointing into Russia, and at this point, we're already 7 minutes 30. He would have already had a fast fortress and probably getting falconets on the way, which would have totally put LFS on the back burner, in my opinion. But, you know, it's hindsight is kind of 2020.
So we do see the Hussar kind of coming out here. Very interesting play from TO to, or sorry, not from TO, from LFS to try and lock TO out of resources. He, like we've mentioned, is going full Huss, but how many? This is at least 10 Musketeers going to be able to deal with the Huss with the good micro that we've seen out of both of these players here. Unfortunately, we're not going to see it as these Strelets are just going to get eliminated by the Huss. We've got a pop of militiamen to try and deal with the Musketeers, but unfortunately, I mean, you want to try and bring these Musketeers in closer so that they can deal with the so that the Minutemen can deal with the Musketeers. As it stands right now, LFS is just going to be able to siege a market down. These Minutemen aren't really going to do anything, and these Hussar can't really do anything with the mass of Musketeers, and that's one of the interesting things about Russia as a civilization is all you need to really do is slap 3 to 4 villagers on coin, and you can continuously pop out musketeers, and we see 10 strelets coming out. We see more settlers being trained, and that 3-unit comp, all we need to see at this point is a stable, which he has the res for, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a stable coming in early now, or now, to get that 3-unit comp and really force France to do something about it. So we see, I guess that's 700 coin coming in for Tio, who now has plenty of res
He's going to
age up, and is going with the exiled prince for the fast age up now, despite a huge mass of, what's that? That's 23 settlers and 11 musketeers. We do see these 10 Hussar who have stayed alive. They're going to be running around. They got behind the blockhouse. That LFS does see them. And here's the 5 Cossack shipment from LFS coming in. And this is looking like it might be a complete base wipe.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about, right? You want, the thing is that you have to make a decision, and you need to make the decision at the 6-minute mark. Are you going to dedicate yourself to the H2 play and get 2 military production buildings up, or are you going to fast fortress? You're forced into those options when you see that many blockhouses coming out. And I think there was too much of a bit of a hesitation. Now, don't get me wrong, he still has 8 Hussar, or sorry, what is that? 8 Hussar. He has 8 Hussar on the field. He's going to get H3 now because it's going up Exile Prince, and we see the 2 Falcons coming in. They can clean. If he also has a batch of some skirmishers coming out, if he can do it, but he's got a lot of idle, but he has plenty of res that he's floating here right now. So there's definitely ways that you can go about it.
He's housed with the Falconets. End up are gonna be what houses him here. He's got 15 idols and all this res.
I would get the CDBs out there. 2 Falconets. Yeah. It's a tournament game. You have to fight it. You gotta 2 Falconets.
He cancels. No, he cancels the Falconet shipments in order to get a full batch of skirmishers out. So he was able to eliminate most of the Cossacks, but this 1 Cossack is going to be enough to wipe these skirmishers. Training 2 more skirms out of this barracks right now. He's got some. Okay, so he doesn't have the wood right now. He's got 9 idle villagers. Now sending goons behind this. That's interesting, seeing as the amount of skirmishers that are on the field for LFS here. As we pop over to his perspective, he's got 19 strelets just hanging out now, sending fencing school for the train time. We're going to hop back over to Tio because this is a lot more interesting here. He only has the TC left in terms of population. 23 out of 10 population. All of those are villagers. This barracks is going to die in just a few seconds here. Villagers desperately chopping coin. He's got 2 shipments built up. He canceled the Dragoons, obviously knowing that this mass amount of strelets that is coming in, so no goons. Chopping wood.
He's gonna get an outpost.
An outpost or a market would be my guess. Maybe to do some selling. We're gonna turn Fog of War off here so we can see these strelets gonna be coming in here, and this is an entire ass base wipe coming in for LFS here, and I be damned if I don't think this is good game already. 12 minutes into the game, this massive strelets is something to behold. There's the market, so I expect this 2,000 wood is going to be sold off for some coin, and that coin will be bought off for some wood.
But do you guys think
for a
like,
second town center?
2 Falconets. I feel like the 2 Falconet pop would have probably. I feel like it would have done enough. You have weak musketeers, only 120 health, and you got the strelets that are easily shredded. I mean, I understand he had the 1 Cossack. If he microed the Hussar a little bit better, he probably could have taken out all the Cossack.
Yeah.
The 2 Falconet shipment could have.
So he's going to cancel the skirms because this town center is going to go down. He's got, 1,500 res. banked up right now. He's been forced to the north side of the map. His one saving grace is these 2 trade posts right now, but there's not much he can do about this now. I mean, I guess he's got these 5 Hussar who are gonna start wiping out these Strelets here, but the Musketeer's gonna pop on the Hussar with more Strelets inbound, so it's really a net negative for France right now, who now has 3 shipments built up, is losing is losing now CDB, and there's the outpost. Probably doing some market selling, so he's finally able to get these falconets up, finally shipping in skirmishers, and probably going to see, as soon as he's not popped again, going to see the goons behind this. So back-to-back military shipments just to try and compete with, oh my goodness, I haven't looked in the middle of the map in a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockhouses for Russia right now. This stable not going to get this last pop out. Well, yes it will, actually. The siege of the Oh, no!
Oh.
Wow.
At the last minute.
At the very last possible minute. I mean, those 5 Hussar probably would have cleaned 6, 7, of those Strelets out and made a huge impact. So we see some... Go ahead.
Keep in mind that if you count these 5 Hussars being cancelled, we have seen 4 cancelled unit this game from TU. Just imagine if he had those 4 cancelled unit on the field right now as we speak.
Right.
That is a huge negative impact in terms of tempo, in terms of just overall score. I mean, the scores are pretty even. Obviously, Russia underscoring here, as they normally do. But yeah, he gets those. I guess you could argue that his saving grace is that the Falconets are out now.
What drives me crazy about all of it is that I understand Russia Rush is a little difficult to contend with, but you also know it's coming. So use the C, like right here, right? So this is good Falconet pop using the environment. Just that five skirms.
Oh my god, that's like 7 units dead now.
Earlier Falc pop with the CDB, like you can trust those settlers to go to work, especially like if he had that early market out instead of the trade post, go for the early market start and then get your great coats and blunderbuss early. And then they can go toe to toe with even the musketeers on the Russian side. I've seen it. I've played games as friends where I've done it. So I'm just surprised that Tio, he's such a good player, and we haven't seen France really perform very well in this tournament. But I'm still kind of just a little upset. I have not let go of that 2 Falc pop with CDB coming out of the TC. Like it would have been. I really feel like that would have been a good fight. Not even necessarily a guaranteed win, but at least. You're not in a situation where you have no TC. I mean, obviously he does have almost the wood to build one, but now you've given Russia so much tempo and so much control over the map right now. So.
Very interestingly, we do see Tio with a very, well, I guess 1,000 score lead. Despite everything that's happened, these Falcs, the skirmisher shipment and the Dragoon shipment, I see a possibility here where Tio actually ends up coming out ahead. I mean, he's got these 2 towns or these 2 trade posts that have been pumping a massive amount of experience for him, as we're going to see 7 more skirms come out for Tio here. And just going to wipe out this little raid here. He's not even going to lose that villager. These Falconets they could end up being the game changer here.
Oh, here we go. Huge villager mass here. I'm going to say a controversial opinion, though. Here it is. I think players like to go skirm goon.
That's
like automatically. Because I think somewhere down the road, we've convinced ourselves skirm goon is the combo. I don't necessarily think that's always the play. Hardly do I think it's even 50% of the play.
Quick wall's not going to come out, but I carry on.
I just think that like he would probably be better served, and Dunamite, correct me if I'm wrong, he would probably be better served into Russia, skirm Musk with Falc, or even Huss skirm. But
Oh.
I would say for me personally, Skirm Musk. Why not? Your Skirms are going to go pound to pound with the Strellet and the Musketeer on his side. Musk for any sort of melee composition when he sends in the Cossack. What else is he going to do? And you know your vet Skirms are going to be better than his, or sorry, your vet Musks are going to be better than his Musks. So, and then you have your Falks. Like, just commit completely to infantry.
So I hate to interrupt you here, but we see the Minutemen. No. We see the Minutemen pop. They're going to be hopping straight on the. Oh no! I for sure thought this was going to end up being the game or the play that turned the game for Tio, but those Minutemen just walked straight onto the Falcons and just meleeed them to death, that is.
So, I'm sorry, but that's so embarrassing. Like great raid comes at the villagers, is gonna get the TC, right? And you think, okay, we're gonna have a base trade here, we're gonna even it out.
We're gonna see some counter raiding here too, yeah.
And, oh man, and he just let the there's a lot of map to look at, but you got to be watching the fight and then look at this. Wow.
So
that
this
doesn't
is
spell the end.
So this is a massive. Yeah, this is just purely Strelets now.
Just Strellet.
41 Strelets. So they don't have siege, which plays in LFS's or in Tio's favor here, and there's actually no town center here.
Can you check Tio?
We'll pop over to Tio here
of course,
and see what he's doing.
To Sir Shagdad, the only thing you do against Russia, mass Cuirassier, use that AoE because their infantry's trash. Destroy them with Cuirassiers, and I'm so happy to see that.
So unfortunately, he's not going to get the 5th Cuirassier out, but they're going to pop out of this stable. And
he's got it. He's got it. There's 5.
Oh, okay. So the 5th one finally comes out. They're gonna pop, and they're just gonna start going. Look at, oh my God! Just look at the AoE. 1, 2, 3. I am not even gonna count anymore because they're just gonna start wiping. 511 health. You've still got this massive units here. Here
we go.
Oh no!
He needs to be watching. See, he needs to be watching. Oh my goodness. See, and look at these halbs. They're going to get right on top of them. He needs to be kiting this, but I don't know if he's actually watching this. Well, the Dragoons are... Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness.
So I think we've got both players doing a little bit of not paying attention as the skirms completely wiped out the halbs except for there's the last one. We've got some villager raids right here. We've got Skirm on Rusket here, or on Strellet here, so the Skirms will take advantage of all of this. These Cuirassiers are still going to work. There's oh my goodness, he's only taken out 1. He's finally noticing that battle's going on here. The Skirm mass is wiping here. Let's see, 16 vills for TO, 30 vills for LFS. But the vills are being forced straight into TO's side of the map here. And we're gonna pop over here.
And there's
still have.
And he's not.
Okay.
Again, I think just 2 fights in 2 different places, and not only that, like, it's so frustrating to look at because what if he had saved those 2 Falcons for this fight? Like, instead of running into the halbs, like, and the Minutemen just walking past, it really is a micro. And look, we're just.
Hello, guys. Oh, what are you doing? No, nothing. Just walking by.
I'm looking for some deer. You seen any deer around here? Nope. No, all right.
This is nuts.
On your merry way is the Oh no. LFS is now finally able to take control with the halberdiers here. Is going to get this stable down. We're going to hop over to Tio's perspective and see what he's doing here. Not training any military units right now. You're losing out on 4+ villagers. The mass Tio.
It's too much.
I guess we missed LFS hitting age 3, so we've got veteran Strelets in now. So much has happened in this game. Pardon me for missing all the action that's happened so far, but I mean, there's just stuff going on everywhere, all at once, and it's a little bit much for this absolutely professional casting team to manage, to be completely honest with you.
I just everything. It's like there's so many opportunities for Tio to have like that. LFS was just, I felt like he was just serving it up to him. He was like, yes, please just take the TC, please just walk, just kill the Vills, like why not, just go ahead. And it's like he's like, no, I'll just throw away the opportunity. The composition is off through the Cuirassier. You know, just the Skirm Mass just standing there, just trading with Strelitz, which is an unfavorable matchup. Even if they win that, the Strelitz are far cheaper units than the Skirms. And you know, here we go. Like we're just
and now Tio has a TC, and LFS does not. So you would think that this still would favor LFS, or sorry, Tio in some way. I mean, LFS obviously has the huge military mass. Tio down on 21 villagers to 29. LFS training musketeers, three batches of musketeers at a time now, and ransack to give these Strelitz finally the siege that they think that they deserve. What a game! I think at some point fairly soon you're gonna see GG called. LFS obviously with over twice the score lead now, and the villager lead at this point.
And yeah, and you know it's bad when Russia doubles your score, like Russia doubling your score.
LFS still without a town center, a market going up. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to do. I mean, I suppose we're going to see a barracks and artillery foundry, so potentially some more. That is potentially Tio's win condition, is to get this artillery foundry up and get some falconets out. So it's going to be interesting to watch this as these halbs are going to come in, and Tio, unfortunately, without a way to counter the amount of siege and units that LFS has, and again is housed with the only thing left being this town center. And just look how fast, with Ransack and the Halberdiers, look how fast that market went down. This town center is sure to follow. Tio's got the wood for it, for another house. But at this point, your entire eco is up in this little northeast quadrant of the map, and LFS appears to be fully collapsing on, and there it is. GG is called. LFS takes game 4 to advance to the elimination semifinals against I'm not sure who he's playing against right now. I don't think we've gotten that far in terms of cast.
No, I don't think so.
No.
So
upsetting. That's so upsetting to watch. Honestly.
What a game.
It was amazing. I loved it, every second of it. I mean, this back and forth and people making mistakes, and you know, we have casting privilege. We see all the map, and we see even we don't see everything that's happening. So how could they? I know it's frustrating, but let's keep in mind that Tio was just, and even LFS was just microing everywhere, trying to save villages, trying to do stuff. And this, unfortunate Minuteman pop on the Falconet is really a testament to that. Like, everything's happening everywhere, and I'm sieging the town center, they'll be fine. And you just spend 10 seconds watching this, and suddenly you look back, you lost one Falconet, you desperately try to save the other one, and you lose it, and everything turns, to shit at some point, and you have to manage with what you've got. And this was just a game that began weird and ended up in a drunken brawl fight. Like, there's no other way around it.
I just think it's a mentality thing too. Like, I find that, like, if you are going to play France, you're going to play France, you have to look at your Cueil de Bois as a military unit that gathers, not a gathering unit that sometimes plays military. I keep Pioneer in the deck for that reason, because if you're going to go up against the Rush Civ, just slap Pioneer onto those guys, and they can go toe-to-toe with those units, and then you just make things on top of it. You can enlarge your army, and I just felt like he kept trying to keep his villagers safe when really you're dealing with the best villager unit in the game. it just I felt like that was kind of the key in that beginning when he was taking away that 2 Falconet pop was so key because he was not utilizing the CDB.
Indeed. This CDB is excellent, even without. Let's imagine he didn't have the pioneers in the deck. You just do blunderbuss, great coat.
Yeah,
You're looking at like 250 HP, 11 range attack, 40% range resist. They will 2v1 Astrolets, no problem, like
Right.
at all.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so in the end, the battle of two players that lost in round one at the very beginning of this tournament, they both lost their first round games. They both get sent to the elimination bracket, fight their way back up into the elimination semifinals, and LFS somehow manages to pull out the 3-1 victory. I won't say Tio was favored. I don't know if either player was necessarily favored over the other one, but a drunken bar fight is what determined who ended up winning. Very well played to both players.
Did he not play Sweden at all?
He played Sweden in game 2. So
I think he was saving that in his back pocket.
So he went France to save Sweden for game 5, would be my guess. Unfortunately, a few misplays and, like Dunamai, like you said, a drunken bar fight where everything is happening and the bouncer doesn't know who to attack first. And that's what does it for you. So LFS moves on. Excellent play from him, winning without a town center. Tio gets eliminated from the tournament. I'm sure we will see him in the 2v2 tournament coming soon. If you liked this video, like the video. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to join the next tournament, which, like I mentioned, is a 2v2 tournament, there's a link to the Discord down below. Signups will go live shortly after the tournament wraps up. And other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. Do you guys have any closing comments?
I'm sorry to any Tio fans that are out there that were watching the series and were really rooting for him, and LFS will move on. So congrats to him.
Both players made a valiant effort to fight their way through. Unfortunately, only one moves on to the elimination bracket finals, and that is LFS. We will see you guys in the next video, in the next series, very soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.